Yo guys, what's going on? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the NDDGames YouTube channel. And we've got another tournament report, meta report, regional report, whatever you want to call it. This weekend we attended the Newport Regional and we got top 4. So we went X1 in Swiss, and yeah, it was my locals, so it was good to do it on like home soil. So yeah, like really good tournament, went really smooth. I played Swordsoul again. We did go to a regional here in Melksham. We completely scrubbed out. I was going to add it to the list, but I thought, it's all part of the process, like scrubbing out, so I thought I'd add it in. But yeah, we had a good result this time. I've been working like really hard, testing the stuff, trying to like up my game, and yeah, it's paying off early days, which is good. Just in time for the YCS next month in Utrecht, if it goes ahead. Hopefully it does go ahead. And yeah, just want to get momentum towards nationals and Euros. So yeah, really thrilled to get top 4. Like I said, I'm putting like loads of work testing, and I'll get to my deck profile in about 5-10 minutes. But I just want to go over some of my matchups. So round 1 we played Machine, the Earth Machine strategy. So soon as I saw he was playing this, like, I thought Citadel was a good card against this strategy because it can like pop the token and stuff if I don't have follow-up. But luckily it was a clean 2-0. Like, I had a really good hand both times. I think game 2 he bricked, and I had like hand traps for him. But yeah, like it wasn't like too bad of a matchup. I just thought Citadel was a really good card, and I think at game 1 I impermed the Citadel and I played through it, which was pretty good. And then game 2 we played the mirror match. He was playing the DP version. Game 1 and 2, I think I had Ash for Fusion Destiny, so it wasn't like I didn't let him like get DP on board, and yeah, it was just a clean 2-0. I've been practicing loads against the mirror. I would probably say the worst matchup for my deck is the Tri-Brigade Bird deck, and we actually didn't play any. Like, we didn't play any. My main deck wasn't like built. I didn't want to like commit too much of my deck to beat that deck itself, the Bird deck, but because I knew it was UK regional, like matchups are going to be super spread, so I just wanted like good coverage for like what I expected at the event, which was like loads of rogue and stuff, which I was kind of right, but there were a lot of birds. We'll get onto that in a minute though. Round 3 was Eldritch, really nice guy. I think he's local as well, like Swansea. He was playing the Eldritch version, so it was like quite scary because like they can be a really good card against my deck, but we just played around it, and obviously going inside games 2 and 3, you're just gonna like have the blowout cards, which we saw them. Round 4 was my only loss of the day. Against Tom Austin, I believe. Really good player. I think he's local as well. He played the PK. It was a great game. He won a dice roll, scythe locked me. Game 2, I protosed him. Game 3, he scythe locked me. So, classic Yu-Gi-Oh! But what can you do? Yeah, I didn't see my outs, unfortunately. I did play outs. I did have like 5-6 main deck outs to the scythe lock, but I just didn't see them, and that's how it is, unfortunately. Round 5, played another Eldritch match. So again, like really scary. Like the trap cards are really good against my deck, especially the floodgates. So, but I think game 1 I lost. I misplayed. I blindly used the shooter to pick away one of his backboard just trap cards, but I should have held it because he had Dakenby, and I should have held it. Like, I should have read it because he wasn't like committed to his traps, so I should have knew it was a Dakenby, and he just flipped it when I didn't target it, and yeah, that was pretty much game. But then games 2 and 3 just side deck cards, and game 3 I think I evenly matched him for like 4. Oh no, he judged me. Yeah, he had judgment for it. And then, but all his traps were like judgments and solemns, and he paid so much life points. In the end, I just attacked him with a Shishao, and that was game. Round 6 was a Dogmatic Invokes. I think he was playing Red Ice Fusion instead of DPE, I believe. I didn't actually see it. I just literally blind Protoss went dark, and that was enough. Then round 7, I was playing the Hero DP deck. Again, I didn't know what he was playing, and I opened Protoss game 1. I went dice roll, and then I just went Protoss, Cold Dark, and it was enough. So then I knew into like game 2, he was like playing a dark deck, and then he turned out to be playing hero. But yeah, really good player of the deck. He must have had he has a lot of experience with it. You could tell. And yeah, we went X1, finishing 4th. I'll show you guys the deck in a minute. But as you can see here, I've been pretty active playing in tournaments. Playing Swordsoul for the majority of them, but I like to add in notably represented decks. A few guys that are planning to go to regionals, or you're wondering what the UK scene is at the moment. For this tournament, I saw a lot of Trilurlusk. Round 1, I finished my game quite early, so I went around, had a look at tables. I feel like you have to do that if you play Protoss. You have to kind of get a gist of what people are playing. But yeah, I went around looking at tables, and every other table was playing the bird deck. So I was like, oh great. Yeah, it wasn't great, but I somehow dodged the deck all day. But yeah, we'll come to that. Like I said, my main deck wasn't the best for it, but I feel like siding, I did have outs to the board if they full comboed me. There's a lot of Eldritch. I expected this. I think Eldritch is a deck that isn't too bad right now because people are playing Droplet, Star Ruler. Some people are opting to play these cards. Mystic Mine. There's so many board breaker cards in the format, which Eldritch and Sky Striker as well just don't care about. They literally do not care about his cards. So I think that gives them a slight edge in game 1. But then games 2 and 3, there's evenly matches, Lightning Storms, Cosmics, all these blowout cards. But yeah, I don't think it's a bad strategy at all. And there has to be a deck in the format which is easy to play. It's just for people who can't commit time to testing and stuff. So I think Eldritch is fine. And then a lot of PK. I think from what I've noticed recently, UK scene, there's loads of PK. I think for people that have travelled to quite a few events so far this season, they would say that there is quite a lot of PK in the format, and especially at these tournaments. So these are decks to note, maybe prepare for them. But yeah, we'll get onto the deck. So this is the deck here, 40 cards. I did a deck profile on the Goat Cards YouTube channel. I'll leave a link in the description. Check out his YouTube, Tim Cox. He's a really experienced player, and he did a deck profile. So if you want to watch that, head over to his channel. I'll leave a link in the description as well. But yeah, 40 cards. I didn't want to play over 40 because I just like playing 40 cards. It's just the magic number for me. So yeah, hand traps. I only played 7, which is a bit weird, but I felt because it's regional, I wanted generic coverage. So Imperm, Ash, 1 Veiler. You only play 1 because you can search it off the Xiao Feng, but I only played the 1 trap, which I'll explain on this in a minute. So yeah, these ones are just generic coverage, and then you can just search this one if you need it. This hits Red Eye Fusion, Fusion Destiny, and this is enough to stop the Tri board going full combo if you see it, and it's a good 6th card as well. Impermanence. I think Impermanence is probably the best hand trap, or one of the best. Yeah, I'd probably say he's one of the best. It's not high impact, but it's just generically good. And I think that's enough to play it in my opinion. Although I do agree with the floodgate hand traps Lancia, Droll, the high impact hand traps D-Shift and Nib, but you kind of need more generic coverage, especially at a regional. We don't know what to expect. Ecclesia, pretty standard. Swordsoul, I know it's pretty standard. For the Tenyi's, I didn't play the Dragon Cycle. I feel like the card's really good, but I'm main decking Protoss, so Vessel's super important. Plus, Vessel always gives you a Tenyi in hand, and that's really important to hold on to, because if you're going to a grind game, you can always resolve Moe for a draw, because sometimes it sucks if you have no cards in hand, or you don't have a Tenyi or Worm in hand, sorry, to resolve a Moe draw effect, because going to the grind, that's actually really insane to get a draw mid grind to get you some more card economy going. But yeah, this is my Tenyi lineup. The Tenyi's do a lot for this deck, going first and second. They bait so much. So I always wanted to pair them up in 2s. We didn't play 3 Vessel because I wanted to play 40 cards, and opening this cards in doubles really sucks. So because if it wasn't if it said Swordsoul in the name, or if it was a worm, it'd be great because I could pitch it or reveal it. But because it has none of those types. It just sucks to open in multiples. But yeah, the Tenyi stuff does a lot. Going first and second. Going second, it just baits so much. And if it doesn't get baited, you just go into a Baxia. And like this card's just insane going second. Like it's unreal. That's another reason why I didn't play too many hand traps, because I know the Tenyis do a lot, like going second anyway. Some people want to Dara, but I like to, because you play Desires. I really want to have one like in circulation. Again, main deck Protos. Like I just feel like at a regional, I just like you're gonna see what people are playing next year, right? So you're gonna like know what to call. There are lines of play where you can like pop a Baron turn 1 to call wind against the bird deck. It isn't the best play, but it can potentially stop their turn. And I feel like with this deck, if you can stop their turn once, you can normally OTK them. This deck can OTK like crazy. But yeah, so yeah, 2 Vessel as mentioned. I do want to play multiples. 3 Emergence. This card's insane. Searches Protos. It's pretty insane. Summit. I think Summit's really good. For 2 reasons. So there are lines of plays where you can search off a Shishao to give you a follow-up if you get Nibiru's. Also, it's good in the grind game, like maybe getting going Desires, drawing it, or top decking it, or even like searching it in the grind with Shishao, which are really good. Because let's say you have like a tie in Grave, you can just like in the grind summon it back, banish, Baxia, go into like that line of play. Or even like a Draco Berserker to like go for an OTK. So there's loads of lines to play this card opens. I really like it in the deck. 3 Desires, I think you kind of have to play this in my opinion. Yeah, like Prosperity is a fantastic card. I love Prosperity. Like when it first got released, I was like, oh, this card's amazing. But just not in this deck. Like the draw off Moe is like super important. I do feel like this deck's like really fair. So you do need to like draw cards like to have that engine going. And then I played 2 Chalice. So this was like quite last minute. I was going to play Droplets. I was quite scared of Dragoon. Even though I feel like deck does have a lot of like generic ways to get rid of Dragoon, like the Cheng Ying. You can just get huge and just attack over it. But I thought Chalice had best utility going first and second. And sometimes, weirdly enough, that the send off Droplets can like quite hurt you. So I wanted like a good utility card. I had slots, so Chalice was fine to be fair. Chalice was really good. And out Scythe as well. Or stop Scythe, sorry. 1 Blackout. I was testing with 2, but the second one just didn't come up, like literally never. So I thought 1's fine, because I search it turn 1 anyway. So I play Xiaofeng, I pop in Xiaofeng off it, it's just insane. Depending on what the matchup is, of course. I think in the mirror, I like to keep this on board, because it turns off Ashuna and it turns off Ecclesia. But yeah, I thought 1 Blackout was fine. Like I said, I want to keep the deck really consistent because it's 40 cards. And then Pure Order, the MVP card for the YCS. So yeah, this card, like you have to play it. Mainly for me, it's like a main deck out to Mystic Mine. But then if you see it like and you go first and you get a bit of luck and you open it, like it's normally a win button. Like normally is a win button. And like why wouldn't you play it, right? So like who doesn't want to win games for free sometimes? I don't feel like it's that good in the mirror sometimes though, because like sometimes they can just shoot to bounce it, or if they have like a handful of Tenyis, they literally just play around it. So that's one thing to note. It is an unfair card. I think we all saw what happened in the YCS, but who knows whether it'll get banned? Like I really can't say. But yeah, side deck. Droll. I said in my deck profile, I didn't play Nib. Looking back at it, it probably was a mistake to be fair, because like. Looking back at my PK loss, I probably should have played Nib, but I didn't want to conflict the Tenyis because I know how good the Tenyis are. Plus, I didn't want to like main deck Nib because I know I'd play Aldlich, and fun enough, I played 2, and Sky Striker as well. So, yeah, I didn't play Nib, but like for a bigger event, like Nib would be one of the first cards on the deck sheet for sure. But I opted not to play it, and it kind of worked out to be fair. But I think Joel's too good. Hits like a massive amount of decks. It's not bad in the mirror. You can like draw them to stop them from searching Protos. Or if they open it, then they open it, I suppose. 2 Dark Ruler. This looks pretty scuffed, but like I said, like I have outs with Chalice and Imperm. Like these are board breaker cards. I I felt like 7 was enough, but we also played Lightning Storm as well, so as well as evening match. So I did have a lot of options for like going second ball breakers, so I didn't want to like overcommit to 3 of these. Plus, this has more utility and stuff, like setting it. If you break the board and like partially break it, like most of the time you can fully break it and stuff, but if you partially break it, this does give you like a set follow up. Then back row, we played Light Storm, Cosmics, and Evilies. These were fine. Like I said, like Baxia on its own can like just spin a board. So if you can like bait out or try and make good reads, and in engine plus these cards are like, absolutely fine. And then going first, I love this card. This card's so good. If I see it, I'm going first. Obviously, some decks it just doesn't do anything against, but I feel like majority of the meta right now, like against PK for example, it does nothing against PK. Because even if you play against PK, they chain like E-Telly, and yeah, you're like okay, whatever. So I don't play against PK, but then going first against PK, we have Protoss. So it's not like I'd rather have Protoss going first to be honest against PK. But yeah, this against the meta, against rogue decks, Invoked as well. If you open this going first against Invoked, it's just insane. The Bird deck's really good. Mirror's not too bad either. So yeah, I love this card. Yeah, I said it on my banners prediction, this card to 1. I don't know how I feel about that, but like having had a couple of weeks to like look over it, but it could happen. Who knows? Extra deck, so 3 Monk. I still like 3. I think 3's fine. Like I said, we play quite a few Tenyis, so it comes up to play 3. Plus, we're not playing DP or Verte, so we have a little bit of space. Shaman, this card's fantastic. Plays around hand traps. Can really like set you up for like the next turn. Helps in the grind game as well. Especially if you open like a handful of Swordsoul cards, you can like use this to like extend your board a bit further as well. Chenging, this card's like undisputed MVP. It just closes out games and like against certain matchups as well. It's just super good. Sometimes I actually prefer this over Baron. I think Baron's like too fair. But like to close the game out, if you like, say if I open a Imperial Order and I make a Baron, like I'd normally go that line because that's like that's pretty strong. But yeah, Chenging is like normally like I would say actually is the go-to. It's super good. 2 Shishao, this card's really important for the deck. Obviously Baron, and then Draco Berserker. I still love this card. I think it opens up so much for the deck in terms of OTK lines, and the quick effect to banish isn't bad either. Dragite, good against Rogue, good against Elvich. It's 3k attack as well. I don't play Nibiru, but you can sometimes get the effect to bounce if you do play Nibirus. Ready Rose, some people cut this, but I really like it for PK matchup and Sky Striker. And if you have follow up and your opponent doesn't, it's normally like it sets the game up nicely in your favor. 2 Baxia, like I love this card. I think this card's fantastic. It's so good, so like insane. None of the effects are like hard ones per turn, which is insane. Like neither effect is, so you can just like go crazy if you open the nuts and stuff. And it baits out a lot. Like it normally baits out against strike, against trap matchups. They have to respond to this card. Yazi, I still play it. It rarely comes up, but in certain game states where you have to like pop a card and then just get into your engine, it can come up. It can come up for sure. And then Xiaofeng, I really like this card. Plays like lets you just sort of do your combo, nib free, Veiler free, and them using like a Veiler or a nib before you make this card is like really bad. So, and it can like if it resolves like, in certain matchups, it's just a free win. Drytron, like what the hell are they doing against Xiaofeng unless they have like Impium or something, but. It's same in the mirror match. I feel like it's really good against the mirror. So yeah, that's the deck. A little bit more theory than the deck profile itself, but I wanted to cover a bit more than what I said because I was super tired. I was like, yeah, I'll do a deck profile. But yeah, a little bit more theory. If you guys like this sort of content, let me know. I normally try and do this after an event. When I go to big events and stuff, I'll make a note of like my matchups because obviously there'll be more rounds. And yeah, hope you guys like the information. If you want to see more content, let me know. Drop me a subscribe. I really appreciate it. Check out my socials. And And yeah, hopefully see you guys soon, and take care. Goodbye.